Hello traders, Greg here with a market update. Okay, so last overnight we had a lot of war headlines, and those headlines were all positive. From the US side, we heard from Trump. Basically, he was saying in no uncertain terms that the negotiations with Iran are ongoing, they're going exceptionally well, and he is super confident that Iran is finally going to agree to never have nuclear weapons. That is one of the main goals, the reason why this war first started, and the big priority for Trump and the US. So, on the US side, and then Trump's also came out just recently and said that they will probably only stay in Iran for another 2 to 3 weeks. On the Iranian side, we heard from the Iranian Prime Minister, and he basically said that there was a willingness from Iran to also end the war. On the Iranian side, they have a couple of conditions. One of those is that this can never happen again. So they have security guarantees. And the second thing is that they are after is reparations. So they need to be paid for a lot of the damage that has been done to Iran. In any case, the market has loved these headlines in that they basically can see the finish line that the war probably looks like, highly likely, that it is going to end soon. And it also looks as if Trump's deadline on April the 6th, where he was going to bomb Iranian power infrastructure and pretty much put Iran into the dark ages. That seems to have worked, and it looks as if that's probably going to be off the table now. So in any case, again, lots of positive headlines out there, and the market has reacted extremely positively. So if we go through the markets, first market, if we look at crude, the most important market, yes, it was bid before all these headlines came. Crude was going up towards $110 a barrel. And it literally got smashed down about $7 and closed down around about 3.5%. Surprised maybe that crude hasn't gone a lot lower and sub $100 with a bullet at the moment. But the bottom line is obviously still haven't got confirmation, A, that the war is over, and two, is that it's still going to take time before we actually get crude flowing like we had it previously. So there's still obviously massive disruptions to crude supply. So look, realistically, when we do get more positive headlines, there's a good chance we'll probably get it down to $90 and sub 90, but I'd be surprised if we go below $80 in the short term. But in any case, it looks like it's probably a sell on rallies at the moment, or above $100. If we have a look at US equities, they had an absolutely fantastic day. S&P and Nasdaq a lot higher, pushing 3.5%, 4% at S&P and Nasdaq. The best day that they've had since May 2025, so almost best day in a year. So equity markets absolutely loving what's going on, and obviously there's a very good chance that we will continue higher for equities. When it comes to bond yields, US bond yields, US 2 yields, at their peak they pushed up to 4%. US 10-year yields peaked up to 4.5%, critical levels for US 10-year yields. Now those yields are a lot lower. They're about 20 basis points lower. Twos are down at around about 3.8%, and 10 years now are around about 4.3%. So that is certainly good news. They're heading back in the right directions, and that is certainly going to be a tailwind for risk if they keep on going lower. But obviously, crude going lower, that will obviously help those bond yields lower. On the back of what's happened, obviously with yields and this rally in equities, we've actually seen precious metals have a fantastic day. Silver up a whopping 7%, and gold up around about 3.5%. One of the things with precious metals, they were having a fantastic bull run before the war started, but as the war progressed and obviously crude did what it did, Precious metals started trading like risk assets, and they were pressured lower, obviously by higher yields and obviously by a stronger US dollar. So seeing a reversal in both has seen both precious metals sharply higher, and obviously now looks as if the bid has come back. So I'm not sure if I'd be selling into these rallies for precious metals. On the currency front, yes, we saw some US dollar weakness finally. Dollar yen, which was above those critical 160 plus levels, 40 highs for dollar yen, is now trading at least a big figure lower. And it seems as if those levels above 160 now are safe again. So once again, those levels above 160, if you are a seller, it looks as if that has paid off. Aussie risk currency, which has been absolutely smoked on the back of what's happened with this war, is back up to around 69 cents. But Aussie is probably the currency you want to be buying. If you believe that this is all real, what is happening, Aussie should fly back above 70 cents, and at some stage, when we get confirmation, obviously, that war is over, etc., it's going to want to take out those 2-year highs that we did recently before the war at 71.70. So I think that's the pick of the bunch, is buying Aussie, because I think it's super cheap, trading here at the moment at 69 cents. Bitcoin as well, finally, it's found a bid. It's trading up around 68,000, but certainly it's going to want to go back up towards 70 if all this risk rally continues, and the positive headlines continue. But in any case, key takeaways is that the market is firmly at the moment risk on, and if we do get more movements in crude lower, obviously, and more positive headlines, this is going to continue. So good luck with your trades, and we'll check back in with you shortly.